Slick talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hello and welcome in, everybody. John Abraham alongside you guys, and not the Thom Abraham here on the Thom Abraham Show. I'm also alongside the Chad Gwathney, as well as the Bandiman Bailey Lowry. And we're going to have a nice little episode today, guys. Okay, it's a Thursday. We're getting through the week. We're having a great little time. We got a lot of sports stories coming in, a lot of stuff from the NFL, obviously, a little bit from Alabama. We got a little bit from over in the NBA, which, yeah, we might even just dabble into that if we get to that point. But first things first, guys, Chad, Bandy, how are you guys doing today? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I have to cue him up.
Oh, he's doing all right until you cue him up.
See, I'm doing good.
Until you push his button.
I'm doing good. Make sure they can actually hear me this time.
Yeah. This is my first time in this seat during...
I thought that was his. I thought that was a. Boo-boo. That's his intro. I was just playing a little Bandy thing.
I don't think we're
Yeah,
talking
that was
about
his intro.
No,
I don't think we're talking about any of those.
We probably would talk about video games.
Oh, yeah.
Throughout some point of this show.
I mean, yeah.
Probably.
I mean, if you
There's going to be video game talk.
go back to
Does this count?
What was the other day that we were on here? Monday. We started off the show talking a little bit about video games. Okay, but I mean today we got a little bit more news stories coming in. We got a lot of things to cover. We are going to have one Mr. Austin Hannon on from Bama Central once we get him
Possibly, yes.
on the lines. Yes, possibly. It's one of those things. But I mean, right off the bat. One thing we just saw come in from the NFL is a little bit of the crackdown on the gambling violations. We saw a few players in the second round of this gambling violations already get kind of called out, but now we're getting even more, and we can kind of break down those because, I mean, you look over. Right now, the Colts, they're the second victims. I mean, I wouldn't say the victims because, you know, they were the ones that did it in the first place. But Colts cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, linebacker Rashad Berry, and defensive tackle Demetrius Taylor, who isn't even on a team in the first place.
Yeah.
They are all going to be missing the entire 2023 season for pervasive wagering activities, said Sports Handle when breaking the news. But the NFL has already cracked down on several of the violations once this offseason with several other players, including wideouts Jamison Williams, Quintez Cephus. These names, I'm still getting them on here, but the whole Lions squad pretty much. Wow. And then we even got a few more guys being thrown into, you know, the little bit of the violating scandal as well. But it's just how it is over in the NFL. But now it looks like we got the guy that is going to get on the line and talk a little bit of Alabama sports with us. That is one Mr. Austin Hannon from BamaCentral.com. Austin, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm great. How are you?
I can't complain too much. There's a lot of things we got to go into. I mean, right off the bat, we look it over at the baseball side of things. Obviously, the season comes to an end. This Alabama baseball team gets placed in the top 10 of the country. I mean, just kind of looking over the past of the season, looking into going up against Wake Forest, ending it a little earlier than we would like. I mean, can you call this season a success when it's all said and done?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think anybody coming into the year, you look at the top 25, and I think Alabama was kind of right, on the border of that, and there were some expectations, and for good reason. I mean, they had a lot of returners, as was kind of noticed, in the back half of the season when it seems like everybody kind of, the whole fan base kind of got on board. There's a lot of veteran players, and so with that, and guys that have been around, you're going to have expectations. But I mean, I don't think anybody thought they would finish top 10 and finish just 2 wins away from a College World Series against a team that ended up being, I believe, the third team standing after LSU and Florida.
I believe so.
In Wake Forest. So, not to mention they were the number 1 overall seed and had kind of been, one of the better baseball teams in the country all year. So, absolutely a success. And I think, because of that, you saw Jason Jackson get his raise yesterday from the Board of Trustees. They kept him on as associate head coach. They bring in Rob Vaughn from Maryland, and they're kind of trying to figure this thing out. Obviously, there's been some pretty big departures in the offseason already in the transfer portal, but I think that's expected. I mean, with the coaching change, with a guy that, all these players on this team committed to play for Brad Bohannon, not Rob Vaughn. So you're gonna have things like that, and it's just how can you go back into the portal and kind of like see what basketball's doing? You lost Javon Quinterly, but you kind of follow that up and you go get other guys. Baseball's trying to kind of do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of those guys coming in from Maryland. Things are going well for the baseball program at the moment.
I about to say, actually, kind of taking a quick trip over to basketball real quick, bringing up they're also making moves in the transfer portal because Grant Nelson coming over from North Dakota State. I mean, and a big guy like Grant Nelson, how do you expect this guy to make an impact for this Crimson Tide squad?
Yeah, I mean, big guy, like you mentioned. Obviously, the departure of Charles Bediako, big loss. I think some people were confused on draft night because he didn't get his name called, right? And, when your guy kind of opts out of college and says, I'm staying in the draft, you expect him to get his name called in Brooklyn. And he didn't, but he did sign a free agent signing with the San Antonio Spurs. So he'll be alongside Victor Wembanyama at least this summer out in Las Vegas for Summer League. It'll be interesting to see how they replace him. Obviously, Grant Nelson's a big, start to that. 6'11", a lot of experience in college basketball. Can shoot the ball a little bit. Not great. He's kind of dipped a little bit in his percentages over the last 3 years, from his freshman year to his last year at North Dakota State. I think he was down to near 30%, maybe a little lower last year from beyond the arc. So not great, but you also have to remember this is college basketball, not the NBA. So you'll take 30% from your 5 most any day of the week. So, I think that's big for Nate Oates. He's kind of not really been able to, since Jordan Bruner and Alex Reese, get a guy that can kind of stretch the floor at that position. Obviously, Charles Bediako wasn't shooting any threes, or at least was not allowed to, was not supposed to, if he got the ball out there. So Grant Nelson's a big addition. You can kind of plug him in there, and I think he's going to be probably one of the better players on this basketball team when the season begins in November.
Yes, they were able to get Grant Nelson from North Dakota State, but we're also able to get Latrell Wrightsell from Cal State Fullerton, another transfer, in Aaron Estrada from Hofstra. Just speak on what Nate Oates has been able to do in the transfer portal, but also Diabate as he comes off of a knee surgery. What do you expect this kind of new-faced, once again, Alabama team heading into this next season?
Yeah, and you'll have Jared Stevenson, the guy that kind of Alabama and Nate Oates was able to flip over from North Carolina, which is a huge thing. I mean, one of the better power forwards in the class of 24. He's reclassifying now to join Alabama this season. So just a lot of good things. And, I mean, Nate Oates really has not done much wrong in terms of being on the court since he's been in Tuscaloosa and on the recruiting trail. And, he's just kind of becoming one of those names in college basketball that, is very recognizable. He's sending guys to the NBA. And these recruits are noticing that. And they're saying, yeah, maybe, a decade ago I would not have had Alabama on my list, for top schools to play college basketball at. But, the way things are going now, I mean, you just saw 2 guys go in the first round the other night. Obviously, Kyra Lewis went in the first round a couple years ago. You had Herb Jones get drafted, and now he's having a great career. So, I mean, all these things are kind of going, but high schoolers are paying attention to that. They're seeing that Alabama's starting to generate NBA talent, with the best teams in the country. Maybe not on the level of Duke and Kansas and Kentucky, but I mean they're getting up there, and the recruiting classes in the future are showing that they keep rising. And if Alabama keeps winning SEC championships on the hardwood, I don't expect it to stop. So you mentioned Wrightsell and Estrada, both going to be good guards. I think the big thing with this basketball team next year is going to be, with Quinterly gone, who is going to control the basketball? Who's going to bring the basketball up the court and run the point guard position? Mark Steers is the first name you think of, but he's not really the best ball handler. Mark Steers kind of thrives coming off screens, shooting the 3-ball, and getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. He's not really a guy that's going to dribble the ball up and run the pick and roll and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to have to figure it out, how they want to do that. Obviously, they still have a couple open scholarship spots available with all these couple players leaving. So there's still time to kind of go out there and get a point guard. They're, in talks with a couple point guards out there in the portal right now. So he's trying to figure out a solution, but I think either way, this team's going to be pretty deep yet again.
Alabama's the men's schedule got released for their SEC opponents home and away, but also they got the ACC SEC Challenge release, as the men will take on Clemson on November 28th on a Tuesday, and then the women will take on Syracuse on Thursday, November 30th. Just speak on that and just the level of play between the ACC and the SEC.
Yeah, it's changing. I mean, we've gotten kind of used to the SEC Big 12 Challenge thing, which, in my personal opinion, I think are the 2 best conferences in college basketball right now. And it's kind of confusing because, I think back to, my childhood and the last 20, 30 years, the ACC has been, the conference for college basketball with North Carolina and Duke and Virginia and Louisville and, everybody that's kind of in that conference that has dominated the sport, and it's kind of changing. The Big 12 is becoming really a big conference. They had Baylor win the national championship. Kansas won the national championship 2 years ago. And so the Big 12 is kind of the leader these days, but they are switching it up. They're going to the ACC. I think geographical, it kind of works out. Obviously, you've got the rivalries between Florida and Florida State and Clemson and South Carolina in football. And so it'll be fun. Alabama Clemson, obviously we saw a lot of that on the gridiron for the national championship. It seemed like 5-6 years in a row. And now we're bringing it to Coleman Coliseum next year. So these two teams have seen each other. Alabama played Clemson and lost. Actually, the year, the Herb Jones year when they made the Sweet 16 and won the SEC, they ended up losing to Clemson that year. I want to say it was in Atlanta. Don't quote me on that. I think it was in Atlanta, but they did lose that game. But now they're going to get them at home, and it's also different because the Big 12 Challenge, if you remember, was in the middle of conference play. It was just on a random Saturday in the middle of January. Alabama played at Oklahoma this year, got kind of pummeled by not a really good Oklahoma team in the middle of a great season. So it's going to be a little different now that it's in November. You're kind of just sticking with non-conference, and then as soon as January rolls around, you go conference all the way, and there's no stopping there.
Yeah, it was 2020 the last time the Tigers played the Crimson Tide in the Hoops Giving event, 64-56.
There you go.
Yep.
Was
it in Atlanta?
Oh.
Was it in Atlanta? Did I get that right?
Was it?
Yes, in Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Boom. There you go.
Austin Hannon from Bama Central talking everything Alabama sports. And kind of going back over to the baseball because Bandy, kind of just changed gears right off the bat. It's totally fine.
Derailed.
It's
No,
totally
I'm
fine.
I'm totally kidding.
We go
There
back
was
to
one question.
Going back to the baseball side of things, though, I mean, I kind of want to focus a little bit more on Rob Vaughn because, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of what he will be making coming in as this head coach going into next season, obviously taking over for Brad Bohannon. And, I mean, looking at his past, seasons as a Turpin head coach, I mean, it doesn't look like this coach is that bad. I mean, he's got plenty of years in his back pocket. I mean, what are some of these players kind of thinking, just either leaving or what do they really expect that one Mr. Rob Vaughn is going to be able to bring to this Alabama squad that might be a little bit better than Brad Bohannon did?
Yeah, I mean, the transfer portal thing's weird. I don't think there's any disrespect between, the former players and the new coach. It's just kind of a thing where, first of all, the money rules the world, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the NIL has become a huge thing. Not everybody in college baseball can give it to you. I mean, you got the top programs in the country that you can probably make a little money at. That includes Florida. We saw Colby Shelton go there, which he's a Florida kid. That wasn't too surprising. And, Luke Holman's probably going to end up somewhere in the SEC that maybe he feels. And we saw Zane Denton do it last year, go from Alabama to Tennessee and had a great year for the Volunteers. So it's not necessarily a, hey, I don't want to play for Rob Vaughn thing. It's just, these individuals trying to put themselves in the best position to become MLB players, right? Because that's the goal at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And while they're in college, and also the MLB is hard to make. So while you're in college, you're going to try to put up as much money as you can. And Alabama baseball is not really the cornerstone for NIL in college baseball. So it's just kind of a personal decision. It's not that surprising. The good thing is I think he's bringing over a good bit of his players from Maryland, it seems like. So they'll be able to contribute pretty early on. We saw Bryce Evelyn take his name out of the portal and return. That'll be big. It's just going to be, he's going to have to piece together a team for next year. And then, after next year, you just kind of try to start getting on the recruiting trail and flipping this thing around and getting it back on track. So it's going to be a hard job. He's losing a lot of players, not only, the seniors like Jim Jarvis and Drew Williamson, but also guys like Colby Shelton and Luke Holman that kind of made this team what it was this year. And he's going to have to try to figure out how to, deal with those absences.
Yeah, it kind of seems like, in a way, that guys are leaving and going on different programs, but he's also able to obtain guys like Ian Petrutz and some other guys that have been able to make it in. And he's also been able to hire his former assistant coach, or as an assistant coach, Andy Papillo, from also Maryland as well. So it just feels like, even though in a way he was able to get Evan Slights from Rutgers. I mean, like you said, Bryce Elbin was able to stay with the program. It just seems like on top of what he's able to get in through the transfer portal, and I think what's coming in also younger is going to be okay for the Crimson Tide.
Oh yeah, and I mean this is going to be kind of a fresh start for this program. Rob Vaughn's one of the youngest coaches at Division I baseball. I think he's just
Kind of feels like a Tony
35,
Vitello a little bit, like a young guy that's going to be like a player's guy.
Yeah.
Right, and I mean he's no stranger to success. I mean he won a Big Ten Coach of the Year. He won the Big Ten championship regular season this year. I mean the Maryland's been a great program. They hosted a regional last year and ended up getting seeded second in Winston-Salem for the regional, and kind of got a little bit of a taste of the medicine that Alabama got just a week later. And so yeah, I mean he's bringing in plenty of success and confidence, and it seems like in the opening press conference, Greg Burns talked about how he kind of called some of his former players at Maryland and guys that he's kind of coached along the way. And it seemed like there was just glowing reviews, and how everybody that's known Rob Vaughn and played for Rob Vaughn would never regret going to Maryland, and would never regret playing for him, and would do it a million times again. So that's what you like to hear, especially, after everything that went down with Brad Bohannon, just about as bad as it gets. You want like that fresh start where it's a young guy that it seems like brings energy, and it seems like players enjoy playing for him.
Speaking with Austin Hannon, I was going to ask you now, flipping over to a sport that really we all care about, in the month of June and July, it is college football. And what better way we couldn't finish the program. We couldn't finish your segment out, without asking you a couple of football questions as well. With 9 recruits now for the 2024 season, what are your thoughts on is Isaiah Faga, the 3-star defensive lineman that flipped from Utah to go to Alabama?
We got him.
Did we lose him? We may have lost him.
Hannon?
Austin?
Oh, well.
I hear you guys.
There we go. There we go. Did you give me that time? My bad.
Yes, I got you. Isaiah Faga. We're talking about Isaiah Faga.
Yeah.
I got that, and then it went quiet.
Yeah, that's our phone system.
Phoenix City kid. That's funny. Class of 2024. He's a big defensive lineman, 6'2", 275. He's gonna get bigger, obviously, right? He's still got a year left of school. But just another big get. I mean, and you know how Nick Saban likes his defensive linemen, and it's just the recruiting is so funny these days, just because you don't really know, what these guys are thinking and where kids' heads at. And it's like you see a Phoenix City, Alabama kid, and you're like, oh, why didn't he already want to go to Alabama, right?
Right.
That just seems like the way it is. But yeah, he's flipped over. He had offers from Texas and Utah and Auburn, of course, and but Crimson Tide all the way, right? That's kind of the way it goes if you're a big recruit in the state of Alabama.
I feel like when they look at it, because that was like one of the things I read in kind of when they were talking about him he's a 3-star recruit, but he also was offered by like everybody. It seemed like he had tons and tons of offers where it's just like, and we can buy it. We can buy into the stars next to your name all we want, but at the end of the day, it's how you perform, and it just what you do on the field is different than what it says on paper.
Well, yeah, and we've seen Nick Saban develop a bunch of guys that maybe didn't come in as the biggest recruit. Let me introduce you to a guy named Mark Ingram. I believe he was a 3-star out of Flint, Michigan, and nobody really wanted him. And just because Saban had ties up at Michigan State and up there in the state, he kind of figured out who Mark Ingram was. He knew his dad, obviously, and he kind of looked at this kid and said, hey, you want to play for Alabama? And, next thing you know, he wins the Heisman Trophy and brings Alabama to the 12th National Championship. Josh Jacobs, another name. I mean, I think he was a 3-star recruit. He's now, in contention with the Raiders and everybody else in the NFL and getting a gigantic contract here this offseason after a great career at Alabama and an even better NFL career so far. So it doesn't always matter about the star power. Obviously, Bryce Young was the number 1 quarterback in the country, and so it kind of goes both ways. Obviously, some of the 5-stars are going to be great, and some of them aren't going to be great, and maybe some of the 3-stars aren't going to be good, but there's also a lot of diamonds in the rough sometimes, and I think Alabama's definitely hoping Fog is one of those.
I'll ask you one more and then I'll get you out of here. As we kind of break down the 2024 season for Alabama and the 3 permanent opponents for Alabama as well, what are your thoughts or what are your predictions, obviously, for this season and next season for the Crimson Tide, but also Greg Sankey's comments on, just kind of changing the whole college playoff calendar and just college football calendar in general when it comes to transfer portal and NIL and everything like that?
Yeah, the sport's going to change a ton. It already is changing a ton, and it's already changed a ton from, what I remember as a kid, growing up watching football in 2008, 2009. That kind of makes me seem really young, but it's a lot different, and it's only going to get more different when Oklahoma and Texas join the SEC, and what's going to come after that? Are we going to turn this whole thing into, the AFC and the NFC like in the NFL, just have 2 giant conferences that compete for national champions? I don't know. It's going to be
NFL
interesting to
too.
see.
The Big Ten and
Yeah,
SEC, NFL
part
too.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
If it's not the USFL and the XFL.
Right. Both conferences have 25 teams, and everybody in the South is in the SEC, and everybody up north and out west is in the Big Ten. That's just kind of how we do this thing. But yeah, I mean, the schedule in 24 is going to be difficult. I think we both know that. You look at it. You got a road trip to Norman. You got to play Georgia in the regular season. You're kind of getting, the short end of the stick. If Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU are your permanent opponents, that's tough. But I don't think Alabama fans would want it any other way, right? I mean, don't you want to see Alabama play Auburn, Tennessee, and LSU every year?
You want the good.
Everybody would say yes to that. I think everybody would say yes to that. I mean, that is Alabama football, is those 3 games every year. So I hope they don't take it away. I hope that is the 3 permanent opponents that they stick with. Obviously, you're going to have Auburn. I think that's an unquestioned fact. They're not going to take away the Iron Bowl. And I don't really see them taking away Alabama, LSU. But at the same time, it's like, would they actually take away the Tennessee matchup too? So it doesn't seem like they would. But I guess that's coming from somebody that covers Alabama and follows Alabama, that, it doesn't seem real that they would take one of those teams off the schedule every year.
Well, I appreciate you getting on with this and squeezing some time with this. I know it's kind of like it's not really a dead period, but it's kind of like where literally everyone's on vacation right now around here. Really the only thing that's on is, spring football and some baseball. And if you're not a real big baseball guy, you really want to be able to talk about more other than just some baseball throughout the year.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, being a Red Sox fan is pretty tough too at this point. So
it's okay that
turn the TV on.
It's okay that every single one of the AL East teams could probably lead the AL Central, the AL, the NL Central, be in contention for the NL East.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
It is brutal. Well, tell everyone where they can find your work and everything like that.
Yeah, BamaCentral.com. I work alongside the great Katie Wyndham, my coworker. BamaCentral.com, that's where all of our stuff is. And then on Twitter, you can follow me at @AustinHannon_. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Austin Hannon, BamaCentral.com. Guys, it was just great to be able to kind of break that down a little bit. I mean, it's kind of funny that we sit here and talk about there's really nothing going on, but it's kind of the latest news that's been happening in the last couple of days, and it has to reflect on a lot around the Crimson Tide.
Exactly.
So it's huge news.
Yeah, a lot of people transferring out, and then also, I mean, you look forward to SEC Media Days, which is right around the corner. I mean, we're going to be getting a lot of answers that we're all kind of, wondering these questions. It's just like about the NIL, how Nick Saban's going to feel, how all these other coaches are going to be feeling, and we're going to get everybody's opinions on it whenever the SEC Media Days comes. So that's really the next time when sports is going to be really just popping off.
Another big headliner, I'm sure, during
SEC
SEC Media Days for sure. Something crazy.
We're going to have some comments.
I mean, I don't know anything bigger than Oklahoma and Texas joining the conference. I mean, unless there's like 2 more that we don't know about, all of a sudden we got Florida State and North Carolina. All of a sudden it's just like, yeah, we're just here. It was like, why are you here? First of all, why are you here?
It'd be weird. I mean,
Florida would be like, I hate you. Why are you here, Florida State? Get out of here.
If we kind of like put out some questions on which teams we would not think would fit into the SEC, when it comes down to it, I don't think North Carolina would be a good fit for the SEC. I mean, it just doesn't seem like an actual SEC team.
The brand.
Florida State as well. I just don't see. I think it's an ACC team at the most, and I think it should stay that way because it should be the SEC and the ACC when it all comes down to it, the 2 bigger conferences, at least in the football aspect of college sports. So I don't know. It'd feel weird seeing an SEC badge on the Florida State uniforms. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia Tech used to have it at one time too, and they already got their chance. And I don't think Georgia Tech's going to be anytime soon. But when you look at it, I mean, like you said, if it's this growth of 2 gigantic conferences, which we can all kind of see it happening, where it forms a whole new professional 2 version. You know what I mean? It's in a way we don't want to say that.
Yeah.
And we always never, as college football fans, why do we love college football? Because it's not the NFL. Mm-hmm. That's what college football fans say all the time. And that's the thing. It's like we want to sit here and not realize, and we're realizing it right now, that it's becoming more of a professional sport anyway in itself. They're becoming employees.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like the more you think about it, it's like
they're getting paid.
It just sounds like the NFL, but with
up
extra
front.
steps.
Exactly, just with extra steps, just baby steps though. Jeez. Baby steps. But let's kind of go to a break, and then on the other side we're going to talk a little bit more baseball We'll probably talk some perfect games and some brave sweeps of the Minnesota Twins on the other side of the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When the biggest names in aerospace, financial services, and electronics needed office and manufacturing space in Huntsville, they called Samples Properties, and they've been doing it for over 40 years. When Huntsville first began to grow, so did Samples Properties. You can trust your business to Samples Properties and their deep knowledge of the commercial real estate market in Huntsville and Madison. When you're in the market for commercial real estate and you need a partner who knows how to make your plans come together, Samples Properties can guide you through all the legal, financial, and regulatory hurdles. And if you just need office space to start or grow your business, Samples Properties is the call you need to make. Go to samplesproperties.com to see the impressive list of clients that have profited from the knowledge and integrity of Samples Properties. For commercial real estate development and consultation, trust your business to Samples Properties, with offices on Madison Street in downtown Huntsville. Samplesproperties.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Extremely hot this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Exercise caution when spending prolonged periods of time outside. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. Heat indices could be as high as 112 degrees. We drop into the low and mid 70s as we head into the overnight. We're going to do this again as we head into your Friday. A mostly to partly sunny sky. An isolated shower certainly can't be ruled out, but temperatures still climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Is it lonely at the top?
Deja vu.
Not at all.
Come on, we're an ace. Everybody knows it.
Thank you for listening to 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It entertains me, and I enjoy listening on the way home.
Grounded to third. Donaldson has it. There it is. Perfection for Domingo Germán.
Is this the type of stuff you guys get into?
Always. What are you? How old are you?
No, I mean, I know this.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
just- it's like, this is a nice little way to open up,
This
the
is
segment.
Tom 8, or no, Tom 13.
Tom 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Tom 9.
I mean, we know what it is. We know it's black and black, but
Oh, that's a nice little way to open back up the show. Welcome back, everybody. Tom Abraham Show. Tom is not in the booth today. He's actually in Florida enjoying some time. Well, actually, I don't think he's in Florida anymore. I have no idea where that man
he's in the mountains.
He's in the mountains
Yeah, he's probably in the mountains now.
Yeah, I have no idea where he went. So doesn't really matter.
He's in
He-
South Carolina, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, he goes off somewhere.
Anniversary, I think.
The hills of Tennessee, something like that. I don't know.
43 years of marriage with my beautiful mother.
Congratulations.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations. to Tom.
Congratulations.
He earns the time off. Okay, that's all I'll say. But I'm here, John Abraham. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say so,
Yeah,
just
he does.
enough, you know.
He does.
The Chad Gwathney in the booth, as well as the Bandiman Bailey Lowry, and we already
You got
had-
his first viral tweet with that too.
I mean, was it his first one that he had like that?
As far as I know.
over 5,000 likes. I mean, a lot of people have seen that. A lot of people have commented.
Because of your
on it.
mother.
I mean, yes, of course it is. I mean, there's some haters out
because
there.
your mother is
There
beautiful.
There were some
And
haters in the thread.
There's some haters. I'm like, this woman is all natural. Come on now.
How did he score?
some jealous women
It's
in
like,
the
how
thread.
did he score that beautiful woman?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get that as well, but those are
Yeah.
more like compliments. It's like, I don't know. Either way. I know my mom is pretty, but either way, let's talk about a little bit of baseball, a little bit more baseball, this time on the professional level, because Domingo Germán did some absolutely great
Germán?
work. I mean, I call him Germain.
Jermaine, because he was Jermaine the last couple games.
Germain. Yeah, I know. Everybody calls him
He was
Germain.
he was bad the last couple games, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think, okay, a guy that goes out and throws a perfect game, okay, only has to go up against 27 at-bats. The last game he had against, I believe it was the Marlins, he gave 10 runs. He gave up 10 runs on that game. And then he comes out in this game. Of course, it's got to be against the Oakland Athletics. And he shows out and
Of course
throws
it's Oakland.
a perfect game in front of a pretty decent-sized crowd in the Oakland Coliseum. I mean, just kind of let's just get into it a little bit, okay? Because first off, 24th time this has ever happened in all of the MLB. Last time it happened was over a decade ago, which is crazy to believe. And in that year that it happened last time, it happened 3 times, okay? So we're talking about some pretty good history, and also the Yankees now push to first when it comes to the most perfect games in the MLB, with 4 surpassing the White Sox. Let's just kind of focus on this a little bit. I mean, just absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. I mean, the first one since 2012 of Felix Hernandez.
Yeah.
The 4th one in Yankees history?
Yeah, altogether.
You got David Wells in 1998. I think he was drunk when he did it, allegedly.
Probably.
So,
Oh, no, wait, was he drunk or was he on acid? I've heard 2 different things.
I think he was drunk. I can't remember. He might have been on acid.
I've heard some stuff. I think I know exactly.
We're
what
getting
you're talking
conflicting
about.
stories here.
Yeah, I think I've heard the acid story as well as possibly a little bit of the drinking story. I don't know which is more.
Yeah, no, he was
impressive.
hungover.
Okay, he's just
Yeah.
hungover.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well then
Yeah.
what, the reports that came out a while ago, they might have been a little false, but either way, I mean it's still impressive to say the least. But still, I mean,
You guys are talking about Doc Ellis. That's the one you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
David Wells was drunk.
Okay, I'm remembering Doc Ellis. Yeah.
I honestly like.
I'm sure Tom knows the complete story and everything like that. He probably oh yeah, I remember I was talking to David Wells right before that. I had a conversation
I'm
with
the one
him.
to give him the drink.
Would I want my eyesight to be a little impaired, or would I want just like demons and ghouls and goblins just coming up? I don't know exactly which would be better for me. Depending on maybe I can imagine and I don't know anything about all
It's like
this
the big
stuff,
green,
obviously.
like the big green. You imagine them as like knights, and you're like, you know what I mean? And they're like, or you imagine them as something. It's like Happy Gilmore. You imagine as something as like happy. You don't, nothing bad, so it doesn't mess with you.
I think you envision here. Let's say this, okay? Whenever you're out pitching the game, you imagine that you're in Mario World or wherever it's called, okay? And you're imagining the glove of the catcher as a Goomba, and you're trying to save the princess that would be the batter, okay? And you don't want them to get hit by your fireball, so you're trying to hit the Goombas first, and you throw your pitch so fast, aka you throw your fireball so fast that you hit the Goombas, striking out literally everybody, and then you realize, yeah, guys, I was on acid this entire game.
But we still won.
Yeah, so by the way, David Wells even said he would have blown over the limit that day.
Oh, wow.
And he should have gotten pulled over, obviously, on the way to the park. So, I mean, like, in the way, like, yeah, we don't want to condone it, obviously, but it was just like these dudes are, throwing out these crazy games. But, yeah, perfect game. I mean, like you said, Herman literally, what was it? He allowed 15 earned runs on 15 hits in 5 1/3 innings on his previous 2 starts.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest, and Yankees fans were kind of like not happy about it either. Like I even asked a buddy of mine, it was just like, yeah, he's not my favorite, but he's perfect. I mean, I was like, oh, that's perfect. That was like the perfect thing to say,
He is perfect.
And yeah, it was just kind of crazy when you're watching that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, anything. I mean, I get it. It's not our listening group. It's not our area. But there are Yankee fans obviously in this area. There are the Thom Abrahams of the world. There are the John Abrahams of the world. There are some types of people out there that do. I mean, we just talked to a Red Sox fan that lives in Alabama. You know what I mean? There's plenty of that. I think Drew's a half Red Sox fan in a way. I think he kind of pulls for that team as well. So, it's just like I said, it's baseball though, and it's history. You're watching it, and this is going on right now when there's nothing else going on. This is perfect for baseball too, to try to get more eyes on the game, the way it's faster play and everything like that. So, they're actually benefiting it from it. If
Exactly.
Rob Manfred doesn't screw anything more up, maybe like take it back, be like, no, it wasn't a perfect game. It was actually, there was a hit.
If any sports talk,
there's an error.
If any sports talk show is missing out on talking about this subject, especially right now, then I have no idea what they're going into and able to fill out the entire show with. For the Yankees, it's similar to the Alabama Crimson Tide. National interest all around, okay? Because you see more Yankees fans here. Well, you probably see just as about as many Yankees fans as you do Braves fans, which are the next guys over. I mean, that's the fan base around this area is the Braves. But also, the Yankees, similar to Alabama, you will see Alabama fans in New York, just like you'll see Yankee fans.
You're the Barcelona. I mean, they're we talk about this plenty of times. They're the Barcelonas of the world. They're they're the top club. They're the team that everyone knows. It's like in football. Everyone's around here. You have your mixture of Saints, Atlanta. Then you go into Birmingham and you'll have Saints. Like you'll have Pittsburgh. You'll have Miami. You'll have all these like historic franchises that people are fans of, and they move to this area, especially in Huntsville, because we're such a melting pot. There's so many different types of fan bases here that even though we do get the Titans and Falcons on TV, I guarantee you that there's a huge percentage of those people that aren't huge Falcons fans, but they at least pull for the Titans because of how close close it is and everything like that. So there is a good bit of that.
Yeah, you got that group, and then you always got the one Dallas Cowboys fan over. Just kind of
there are the Cowboys fans. We don't talk about Cowboys fans. We talk about the Phillips. Leave the Phillip alone, because right now he is wallowing right now. He's a Mets fan. He's a Cowboys fan. He's wallowing right now because the Mets are so bad. So we don't want to pick on him too much right now. And Tom's out of town too, so he's probably not listening either. So he was like, as soon as he saw John Abraham and Bailey and Chad, he was like, nope, turn it off.
That's on my show right there. That's on my Tom.
They were like immediately know that there was gaming talk,
which we have refrained from.
Yeah, we have refrained from. We actually were told to refrain from gaming talk as well. There was a text message from one Steve Moulton.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Which, speaking of Steve Moulton and talking about baseball, Steve was able to take a nice vacation in himself to be able to go on and watch the Atlanta Braves sweep the Minnesota Twins. And last night, Colby Allard another young, talented arm in the Atlanta Braves are able to just kind of just pick out of the woodwork and then just immediately throw into. I mean, the guy flew into Minneapolis to play against the St. Paul team and literally was told, hey, buddy, no, you're starting in the major leagues. And this is what it sounded last night as the Braves were on to win 3-0 and sweep the Minnesota Twins.
So the Braves, he's a different guy. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Went up and away with 91 right on by. Another 3-2, waved at and missed. Went upstairs, got the fastball past him. Back-to-back strikeouts to open the game for Allard. Fans want to see a clean 1-2-3. Lewis back in, waiting for the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Check swing. Did he go? He did. Strike 3. 2-0. Driven on a line into the gap, right center. That falls and one hops the fence. Acuna scores. Olsen going to second. He will stand there with an RBI double. And the Braves once again score in the first inning. It's 1-0 Atlanta. Ozzie waiting for a 1-1 pitch. Here it is. And it's hit hard to center field. Back is Taylor. Gets behind it. Both runners tag. Coming in to score is Michael Harris, and holding at first is Acuna. It's 2-0 Braves on a sac fly by Ozzie. Right-hand batter waiting, and the runner goes from second. The pitch is lined to center field. Harris is there. Harris has it. He'll throw behind the runner to second, and it's a double play. The Twins can't do anything right. Lazovic lets it fly, and it's hit high in the air, deep to center. Back is Castro at the wall, watches it go into the Braves bullpen. Solo shot, 3-0 Atlanta. Matt Olson's 26th of the year. His second RBI's now got 62. Overmatched Buxton and Lewis. Now he takes on Farmer, lined up the middle and caught by Ozzie Albies, and there's your ball game. The Twins can't do a thing offensively. They are shut out by Allard, Yates, Mentor, Jimenez, and Iglesias.
Yeah.
It only took all of those guys, but I mean, yeah, I mean that was in itself. It was fun to watch as a Braves fan, fun to listen to if you were able to listen to it on our air. Of course, they are off, and they'll be back tomorrow, taking on the Marlins. Should be a lot of fun. You'll be able to hear that on our air as well. So we're looking forward to what the Braves have been able to do as they going forward. We do actually have some sound as well from post-game from Brian Snicker and Colby Allard, and we'll get that on the other side. Thank you to Steve Moulton when we get back from this break on the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com.
As another 47 favorite, the Braves shut out Minnesota 3-0 for their fifth straight win yesterday. The Braves take it on Miami. That is coming up tomorrow at Truist Park. Miami today wrapping up a series at Boston. Jesus Luzardo pitching for the Marlins, plus 105. It'll be Brian Bayo for Boston, minus 115. 9 over the total at Fenway Park. Rocket Mortgage Classic at the Detroit Golf Club. Tony Finau, Colin Morikawa, and Ricky Fowler all 14-1. Hideki Matsuyama 18-1. Max Homa, Justin Thomas both at 20-1. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
T-minus 3, 2, 1. Trash Panda Nation, ignite the fun. Let's rock it.
Your Trash Pandas return to the Rocket City on Independence Day, Tuesday, July 4th for another 6-game homestand at Toyota Field. Promotions include a 4th of July celebration with fireworks on Tuesday, a Zach Neto bobblehead giveaway on Wednesday, and a Kids Trash Pandas socks giveaway on Sunday. Reserve your seats now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Let's rock it.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today. 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
You want to see what I bring to the party?
Congratulations to The Drive as we celebrate a decade of Wes and Steve. Here's to 10 more.
Now Sonny and Cher would say, that's on you, babe.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I guess a little bit surprised. It was a little late notice, I think, but we always prepare for that. We kind of always, are shooting for that. So I wouldn't say I was overly shocked. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about what you did, considering you only had a couple of minor league starts and you go out and strike out 8, walk 1?
Yeah, it was good. I think obviously, this is a very good ball club, and they're kind of rolling. They're rolling. So I'm just kind of trying to do anything I can to keep the ball moving in the right direction and do anything I can to help this ball club win as many games as possible.
What were the hours like for you last night as you tried to get from, I guess, Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a quick turnaround, like I said, but we're here, you're on the mound, and then it just comes down to executing pitches. So got out there and put us in a good spot to get a win.
You look like you were in a good spot in spring before that injury. When you were rehabbing that for a couple months, did you kind of feel that motivation inside still to get back here and to kind of show what you could do?
Oh, of course. I think we have a lot of very talented players in this clubhouse. And I think the one thing that they do a very good job of is making everyone feel like we're pulling all on the same side of the rope kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's not much like selfishness going on. Everyone's just going out there and trying to, win as many ball games as we can for the Braves. I think that's kind of the mindset.
I'm ready.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Thom Abraham Show. Got John Abraham, Bailey Lowry in here helping me out. Take over the Thom Abraham Show. It's a Takeover Thursday. We always like to do our crazy names. My bad, I didn't have your volume up.
No, it's totally fine.
But yeah, that was Colby Allard last night as the Braves were able to sweep the Minnesota Twins. Colby Allard was able to go 4 2/3 scoreless innings on 3 hits and 8 strikeouts. And here in just a few minutes, we're going to be hit by the time to finish this first hour. And then the second hour, we got John in to do a little bit of golf talk. So not only the round ball, we'll go to the small little round ball, the beautiful, beautiful course that is Cherokee Ridge out there. If you want to get any if you want to learn how to play some golf, hit up John right now and hit up Cherokee Ridge and go out there and have a good time and take your friends and I know we need to get out there. I know I need to at least play like once. Just to try to play once.
Let's just set up a
if
little
not,
thing.
jump in the pool because it's absolutely hot outside.
Get a little foursome out there. John could set something up.
Yeah, I'm sure he could. But he's going to be talking the Rocket Mortgage Classic and kind of breaking that down. So that'll be a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, we always have him on the afternoon Blitz, by the way, from 2 to 4 on the Blitz Sports Radio Network. So if you guys do get a little bit of excitement out of hearing him talk a little golf, you guys can come over next week and listen into us. Be a little bit more relaxed when it comes down to the afternoon Blitz. It's a little bit more of a fun-going show. Not saying this isn't, okay, but, it's just how it is. But John will be joining us here in a little bit. But before we do that, we were talking about the Braves, and I kind of want to finish off this hour just real quick, just looking at how just elite this team has been, at least in their NL East division. Looking at what we thought was going to happen going into this year, the last thing we would have expected is seeing, not the Braves being at first, we would have saw that, but the Marlins being second and the Mets being second to last of being 17 games behind. That's the biggest thing that we're looking at, that it's just like, well, what really went wrong with these other teams and what's going perfectly right for the Braves right now on their way back to the playoffs to possibly get themselves back into a World Series. Chad, I'm looking at you.
I'm listening to you. I'm about to give it to you because if you look at it, it's just the Marlins are going to Marlin, like Shane said yesterday. The Marlins are going to Marlin. They're going to end up, if not where they're at right now, they could end up still finishing second. But I see them going out in the first round. It's not going to – nothing to really worry about the Marlins. I don't see them doing a Phillies-type crazy run where the Braves win the division, but then they end up getting upset by the Marlins, or they make this crazy run like the Phillies and make the World Series. I don't see that happening. No. I just think it's the evolution of the game. You got teams like Cleveland, who's now actually leading the AL Central with a negative 500 record at 39-40, which doesn't make any sense at all. No. But it's kind of the new shape of baseball we're in, because Minnesota is at plus 24, which they came in 40-40, obviously, in that series against the Braves, but their run differential is positive.
Yeah.
If you kind of look at some of these other run differentials, they're actually absolutely crazy. Mm-hmm. Texas has a 160 run differential. Tampa Bay's got 147. You got the Braves, who have the most home runs. They're leading the Dodgers by like 17, 18 home runs after what Matt Olson did last night.
Don't take a look at Oakland's run differential.
Don't look at Oakland's, and don't look at Colorado's, and there's types where we're just looking at these types of things where I think look at the Cubs. The Cubs right now in their own division, if they could just stop shooting themselves in the foot, they're the only one that has a positive run differential, and yet they're sitting at third in their own division, and I don't even think they're going to end up making the playoffs. To be honest with you, because I could see Pittsburgh making a run. You still got Milwaukee and Cincinnati that are leading that division and kind of leading the way in that division throughout the season. So I just, when I'm looking at the Braves, I'm looking at a team, and Alex Anthopoulos has done a tremendous job, and I'm sure plenty of Braves fans that are listening to me can agree with me that he has done a tremendous job when it has come to taking a core number of guys, giving great deals. And, I mean, you still have Albies on a ridiculous deal. You have Acuna on a deal that it doesn't make any sense when you're paying $300 million for a Bryce Harper. You're paying, $300 million for a Mike Trout. You're paying Juan Soto a crazy amount of money, to not do anything for you. I mean, Ohtani's going to get paid $500 million probably or something like that. He's going to get paid like this crazy amount of money, right? Mm-hmm. But yet, I mean, is Ohtani worth all that money? When we're looking at guys like, I mean, when we're looking at long term, Ohtani, if he would stick to one side, I think, yeah, he's going to have a longevity in a career. But if he's doing both, I think, yes, he's worth the money. You keep doing it. If you can continue to do that throughout your career and doing it successfully, yeah, sure. But, I mean, look at Mike Trout. Mike Trout got his money, and we haven't had the same Mike Trout since then. No. They always talk about that, and people talk about Ohtani leaving and the supporting cast. He has Mike Trout as a supporting cast. Okay, he's got Hunter Renfroe.
It's the only.
I mean, it still baffles me.
I mean, when you got Zach Neto. Okay, I mean, you got guys that are coming up and doing a lot better, and you got Reed Detmers over there pitching for him. I mean, you've got types of things where you've got this young talent, but it's the franchise in itself. You're talking about the Mets. The Mets are paying 2 old pitchers like $87 million. A year, which makes no sense at all. They're paying these dudes crazy amount of money, and then the Braves are paying, like, right now they're paying like 6 players like $76 million. Okay, yeah. It doesn't make sense when you go look at what the Padres are doing right now. The Padres are absolutely disgusting right now. They're sitting just right above Colorado in their own division. They paid so much money to get what they have in their lineup, and then their bullpen is not very good. So I mean, it's just one of those things. I think when you look at it, the Braves and Alexander Thompson have just done a great job in keeping their core. They have a bunch of talented young pitchers that just come out of nowhere and end up doing enough to get you win ball games.
How about the Rays? Pretty much on doing the exact same thing the Braves are too, but in the American League.
Yeah,
and just sitting up top. I mean,
mimic
success.
First 2 teams to hit 50 wins. I mean, you still have plenty of other teams that haven't even hit that mark yet.
Yeah, you got the big names, but I mean, you also have just a consistency in players that are able to win some ball games.
You listen to Colby Allard. It's a great franchise to play around and be around.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's all we got for the first hour here on the Thom Abraham Show. When we get back, we'll be talking with one Mr. Jonathan Liggett from the Cherokee Ridge Country Club. So don't go anywhere. There's a lot more to come here on the Thom Abraham Show.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning, I'm Doug Brown. In Oakland Wednesday night, Yankees right-hander Domingo Germán throws a perfect game, 11-0 the final. Germán had never beaten the A's in 6 previous starts. He throws only 99 pitches. In his last start against the Mariners last week, Germán gave up 10 runs in 3 1/3 innings on 93 pitches. Guardians manager Terry Francona is out of the hospital, but he'll be away from the team for a few more days. Francona went to the hospital right before Tuesday night's game feeling lightheaded. Francona has had a number of health challenges over the last several years. 3 years after retiring from tennis, former world number 1 Caroline Wozniacki tells Vogue magazine she's coming back to the tour. Wozniacki had her 2nd child last October.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. we show up.
There are those among us when disaster strikes and seconds count, they rush in. Where would Huntsville and America be without them? They're our military and our first responders, and at Woody Anderson Ford, we salute them. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, where all military personnel and all first responders get an extra $1,000 appreciation cash on top of all other offers. This offer is good through July 5th and can include an extra $1,000 bonus cash on 2023 F-150 and Bronco Sport, $1,500 cash back on 23 Edge, and $2,000 cash back on 23 Explorers. These offers are available for everyone with good credit through Ford Motor Credit, but military and first responders get an additional $1,000 appreciation cash. Our way of saying thank you for having our back. Woody Anderson Ford, over 60 years of serving those that serve us. Hope to see you soon.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
The battle for a sixth straight division crown is on, and the Braves are on a charge to bring it home to Atlanta.
3-1. That is jolted. Deep right center field, and kiss that goodbye. 1-0 Braves on the homer by Olsen.
Tomorrow night, division rivals clash at Truist Park in Atlanta as the Atlanta Braves take on Jorge Soler and the Miami Marlins. Braves Radio goes on the air at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Extremely hot this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Exercise caution when spending prolonged periods of time outside. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. Heat indices could be as high as 112 degrees. We drop into the low and mid 70s as we head into the overnight. We're going to do this again as we head into your Friday. Mostly to partly sunny sky. An isolated shower certainly can't be ruled out, but temperatures still climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
This is Mike Greenberg. Be sure and download the app today. Just search for 97.7 ESPN and listen to my show every weekday right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog. Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about. Be a dog. God bless the show. You are the Messiah. We need more dogs. This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis's trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn. I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Hour number 2 here on the Thom Abraham Show. It's getting a lot more busy in the studio today, but I am alongside the Chad Gwathney as well as the Bailey Lowry. Thom is currently out of the box. He's celebrating a little bit of his, anniversary. I think it's like 40-something years. I don't know. A lot of people are getting onto him. They think that my dad married my mom whenever she was 1 year old, okay, because she looks like she's 43 years old or younger, so it's just a bunch of crazy stuff. But we got a couple of guests in here, obviously, just one with me and the Bandiman. We kind of don't really do this usually, having both of us in this room, except for when we're on the Thom Abraham Show. But now, like we do every Thursday over on the Afternoon Blitz from 2 to 4 over on the Blitz Sports Radio Network, we do have one Mr. Jonathan Liggett. He is an assistant pro over at Cherokee Ridge Country Club on with us to talk a little bit about the Rocket Mortgage Classic that is starting off today and is starting off pretty hot. But I'm going to throw it over to you two over there right next to me here in the studio. Bandy, John, let's get into some golf talk, my dudes.
Okay.
Yeah, just like we do whenever we're on the afternoon blitz. Right now, looking at a pretty good matchup. We didn't expect it to be as low scoring of a tournament as we saw last weekend, but right now, I mean, these guys are still shooting really, really good. So kind of just talk about them a little bit.
All right. So getting into the Rocket Mortgage Classic here. Well, you're talking about how it's same as last week. Hey, we're not anticipating as low scores as usual, as you're saying. The course is setting up pretty easy, in my opinion, for this week for these guys. I mean, they can rocket these drivers. They can be aggressive at these pins. This is a tough course. It's fun to play. I haven't played there, but I could say it from their point of view. It looks like it's fun to play. It's a very pretty course. It's in great shape as always. Set up for this beautiful event. But right now, everyone's playing really good. I mean, your top player right now is 8 under Peter Kust. I think Cost. I'm sorry, Peter, if I pronounced that wrong. But yeah, Peter Kust at the top leaderboard at 8 under, playing really well. I saw him hit a few balls today. Man's striping it. Swing looks really good. And also back up here in the tied second, 7 under, Sam Ryder, Aaron Ray? R-A-I? Ray, sorry.
It's the one thing that us young bucks never get is the pronunciation
it's the
of
names.
Some of these crazy names.
And then Ludvig Aberg, a man from Sweden, great player. Sam Bennett, tied second here in the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And if you don't know who Sam Bennett is, he goes to Texas A&M. He is a senior, played in the Masters. Great player. If you haven't watched him play, definitely tune in and watch Mr. Sam Bennett, one and only play. I also want to talk about Ricky Fowler. Okay,
BDR.
I'm gonna keep coming back to BDR. I love him. Okay, I just want to say, look, be on the lookout for this guy. Yeah. Okay, for one, U.S. Open shot. What was it? 10 under?
I think it was 9.
9,
and I think that was like the record for that.
Yes, it was
day.
It was the record.
It might have been 8. It might have been an
8. It was he tied with who was it? Don't even know. I talked about it last week, and I don't even know.
It was one of the golfers we talk about quite a bit. I forgot exactly what his name was, but I mean, if you guys could figure it out, you'll probably get around to it. But I know, but getting to see a little bit more consistency out of Ricky Fowler is really nice to see. I truly feel like we're back in 2012 when this guy was riding the tie-dye clothes, and everybody was saying, Ricky Fowler is the future of golf.
Yes, well, as of recent, he shot that low round at the U.S. Open, and then last week at the Travelers Championship, his lowest round ever on the PGA Tour.
Really?
60.
Jeez.
The lowest round of the tournament. I mean, this guy, I've been talking about him, but 3-4 weeks prior to what's going on right now, and this guy is starting to prove, all his hard work's paying off, and I love to see that. This guy's playing well right now. He's tied for, I think it is 7th in this Rocket Mortgage Classic right now. So shout out to Ricky, dude. I'm really wanting to see this guy come up, and he's playing really well. So overall, Rocket Mortgage Classic, it's a beautiful course right now. The event is great, and all these scores are low, so it's going to be a fun time, fun to watch, and be ready to see these guys go low in the next 3 days.
No, it's crazy to see, too, because we got a huge tie over in 32nd place. Just everybody shooting 2 under, then we got some guys shooting 3 under, and it gets down to, obviously, the 1 unders, and that's the very long list, and then it gets to the cutoff where these guys just they aren't cutting it. And I mean, some of these guys, I can't go through and tell you all of their names and say who's like the big surprise, but I will say, again, going back to what we were talking about, even just a few, I say it was a month and a half ago, maybe we first brought up Ricky Fowler kind of coming back into the light of golf, and we obviously were making the big joke about the BDR. I mean, it's the mentality that this guy had. It's no joke now. It actually is no joke, but I mean, when he was shooting well back in like the early 2010s, I mean, this guy was he was a young buck. Okay, he was like 24. He was maybe a little bit younger than that. Now the guy's sitting at 34, and we're seeing kind of a resurgence in him.
Yes.
But at the same time, he wasn't able to get it done. He shot very well. He was breaking some records at the U.S. Open, but he wasn't able to get it done, and that's why it's really hard to just go off of the first day and say some of these guys are going to go all the way. It's very hard to say that because, again, that pressure really sets in for some of these golfers, especially whenever they're just as young as, I'd say, Peter Kust, who's sitting at number 1 on this tournament at 8 under. And, I mean, he's the lone man at first in this round already. Totaled 4 today. He's done 4. He's moving on.
It's funny you say that. Talking about round 1. You can never choose a winner off the first round of a golf tournament. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy could be 20 under after round 3.
Yeah.
Second place be 15 under, and then fourth round it's all over. So it's cool you say that. Taking back to last week, Keegan Bradley starting off the run at 8 under, coming through and winning the tournament.
Yeah.
But to keep that mentality through the entire 4 days, to hold yourself together, that composure and that kind of competition and pressure, it's extremely difficult. So yes, after the first day, you might have some good players out here playing well, playing good, and then all of a sudden you see third or fourth day, pressure gets to them, and even weather, inclinations of weather start coming, all that good stuff. So
because
very good point right there.
Because what's the oldest story in golf? Like, you have an absolutely incredible first 3 days, just to kind of blow it on 4.
Yep.
that's the story that it goes. It's really. It goes down to consistency. I mean, even in the Travelers Championship, we see Keegan Bradley. He's not shooting the best on his final round. Obviously, it's a 2 under, but it's still good enough to give him that overall score of 23 under, just barely beating out Zach Blair, who shot 8 under on day 4 to really just push him all the way back up into the top 5. And I mean, all of these guys, it is really just back and forth. I mean, you see the guys, the big names that we've known for a while, Scotty Scheffler, obviously, you see Roy McIlroy. All these guys are popping up. You see them pop up. But it's these young dudes that are being able to kind of come up and make a name for themselves, and it's kind of exciting to see in the world of golf, I will say, and especially for a guy like you, John, trying to make your name as well, doing stuff over at Cherokee Ridge. Obviously, you're an assistant pro, having a lot of fun over there. You want to talk about a little bit of the tournaments that are going down over there?
Yeah, we can talk about a little bit of tournaments. So the next tournament we have coming up is actually going to be. Let me think about this one for a second.
Okay,
because tournaments are scattered. Okay, we have new management. Okay,
he's a busy boy. He's a busy boy over
new
there.
Management. So like all these tournaments have already been scheduled a year or 2 prior to me being here.
Yeah.
And I don't have a set schedule for let's set this tournament up or not. But I know July 10th I'm doing the Brewer football tournament. July 10th at Cherokee Ridge is for the high school. But I'll be running that myself. That's the next tournament I know of personally.
Yeah.
But other than that, any big scrambles going on, I could not tell you. Sorry, folks.
Are you able to hop into any of those tournaments that go down over there, or are you working them instead?
Right. Well, like the football one going on here, this high school one, I'll be working this.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, there's tournaments like that, local tournaments like community stuff. I'll be working stuff like that. But I do have to say there is one tournament coming up.
Oh.
September 16th.
Oh.
It's a 3-man scramble. First place. $10,000.
Okay. Nice.
Has to be a pro and 2 amateurs on each team. $600 to join, $200 per person. But big tournament.
Yeah.
That is one big tournament we got going on. First place is 10, second place I believe is 6, and third place is around 2 or 3, somewhere in there. But that's the biggest tournament I know coming up in the future here. But the one coming up next is July 10th. I will be running that Brewer football high school tournament.
Okay, all right. Hey, we know a lot about Brewer High School as well because I mean the scoreboard show that goes on. Well, me, Bandy, Chad, we all helped with it during the football season, and you hear a lot about Brewer. They're a good football team over there, but it's going to be interesting to see really what goes down with the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Going back to that story, a lot of guys that kind of are unnamed that we want to see actually do well because I mean. You see these dudes come out of BYU, obviously like Cust, and it's like they don't even have a bio that's really up on these guys just yet.
I think the problem with this tournament and some tournaments like this is it's going on around the same time as another live golf tournament.
Oh.
And so, of course, they're over in Spain doing I think it's the Andalusia Open or something like that in Real Club Valderrama or something like that. So, I think when you're looking at it, you don't have your top golf. I mean, you do have your top golfers, some of your top golfers, but you don't have some of your studs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't see the guys that you see that have been doing them rocking out the U.S. Open, the Masters, everything like that. Where I wonder how this whole transition when the merger happened, and when players are coming over, I wonder how some players kind of feel because. Obviously, we've heard, Dustin Johnson of the world, Brooks Koepka of the world say that, obviously we see this, it hasn't changed. It's not going to change the game or it's not going to, hamper the game by any means. But I just wonder what they all feel like once they do come over to back to the PGA Tour, and what they'll have to do to get back in the PGA Tour. Will they have to pay like some kind of fine? Will they have to pay an entrance fee?
Yeah.
Will they have to play like, you can't play the next two round or tours, you can't, or next two events you can't play and make money or something like that.
I like how over in this whole new thing, this new world we got into with golf, we already have more details about how players will be able to get back in compared to, I'd say, the transfer portal over in college football that's just kind of running rampant right now. Everybody's kind of just moving.
That was a good analogy.
Constantly, yeah. But, I mean, again, he makes a good point. I mean, these guys are all the way in Spain for the LIV tournament, and it's, again, weird to think that some of these guys will have to come back into play with the PGA. I mean, DeChambeau is over there in Spain right now, and I can't see the bro play a little bit of PGA golf at the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Speaking about the LIV and the PGA, and you're talking about all these names that you've never heard of before, and like all the big names that play in the majors, they're over playing LIV. That's one thing I know that LIV and the PGA come together. It's a big drama fest, a whole bunch of controversy going on. But this is one thing that I appreciate about LIV being something and then us joining together is we get to see all these fresh names. We get to see players who might not have gotten a chance. They're good enough, but not quite good enough to beat the top players. Now there's another league. Now these guys get to get on the main stage, and put themselves out there. Get a chance to play well, play with the big contenders out there, and it puts them in that pressure, and they get that experience. And that's what I like. That's what I want to see. It gives the young guys a chance to actually get out there and play.
Yeah.
Myself, for example, I have a chance now.
It gives a little bit more breathing room, I would say, for sure.
Absolutely. Besides the LIV and all this stuff, like I said, great tournament. A couple of names out here I'd look out for. Sam Bennett's going to be the number one guy, okay? Texas A&M, stand out, okay? Senior this year, 7 under in the first round. This guy's a player, okay? Yeah. Very unorthodox swing, very far from normal than what you see. You don't look at him like this guy has a very beautiful swing.
Yeah.
Okay, no. This guy's swing is very unorthodox to the normal. What?
Gosh, why am I blanking on his name now? I mean, you know who I'm talking about.
Jim Furyk?
No, another
Matthew Wolff
with like the perfect swing.
Adam Scott? Adam Scott has a beautiful swing.
You think
the actor or the golfer?
Do what?
Adam Scott's a good actor.
He is a good actor. But no, you know who I'm talking about. Like, he's older. Pretty much everyone over 50 loves him.
Ernie Els?
I mean, that is an option, yeah. But the other one.
There's so many names we're calling out right now. It's perfect.
Tom Watson.
Tom Watson?
Is that it?
Tom Watson? Oh.
Yeah, Tom Watson.
Tom Watson.
Do you
okay.
remember? Do you see a perfect swing out of Tom Watson?
Tom Watson has a good swing, but in my opinion, I think Adam Scott's is better.
Man likes Adam Scott. Apparently.
Adam Scott is a great swing, man. I love it.
All right. Well, I mean,
I just like how you named everybody else except for
Tom Watson. I'm sorry. I mean,
waiting for it.
I'm sorry. I'm Tom. If you're watching this,
you should have done better and known his name, Bailey.
Hey,
okay,
you're
there
right.
we go. I got that on my side.
I should have been prepared.
Yeah, since we're on all these like different golf league talk, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the LIV. Now we talked about the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Now we can also talk a little bit about the TGL that's coming next year.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Justin Thompson, Adam Scott, Colin Morikawa. We got Matt Fitzpatrick. We got a whole bunch of guys that are going into this, and it's just like, we'll get Wolverine down here in a second, but it's insane to really think that we're getting all these different golfers in different ways, and now we get the TGL as well, which is going to be a totally different type of golf. But it's going to be all the big names going into one arena to just be showing out their skills in this virtual type of golf.
Can we just talk about this for a second? This TGL, it's crazy to think about.
We'll hop onto that in a second, but we will hop into Wolverine Dan's conversation. Wolverine, how are you doing today, buddy?
Very well. I'm trying to get Thom to play. He doesn't want to play. He wants to throw the clubs in the pond. I guess he doesn't want to touch them at all. What's up with that?
I think I ruined that for him last time we played.
Yeah, John went out and showed him how amazing it is to be a young man, and then Tom just looked at him. Yeah, maybe I'm a little.
This
too
is a
old
young
for this.
man's sport. That's what he kept saying.
Me and Tom were in the fairway, just like, all right, yep, he's 60 yards ahead of us.
Not so fast, my man. I'm 64 years old. I shot an 87 at Cherokee Ridge.
Okay.
And I bogeyed every hole and I birdied 3 of the 4 par 3s.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The par 3, I got to give you that one. The par 3s are nice to birdie, brother. Yeah. Those are tough.
And I almost, on the 11th hole over that pond, I almost aced it.
Ooh.
I don't. It's one of those rounds, man. I just didn't understand it. I couldn't make a par to save my life, but I birdied the par 3s. Anyway,
that's why it's called golf.
With that said, yeah, I want to get together with Thom. But one of the players I might bring to your attention is a senior, and you're talking about smooth strokes, was Freddie Couples.
Freddie Couples, thank you.
Fred
there
Couples.
we go.
Okay, no, it wasn't Tom Watson. No, it was Fred Couples.
Yes,
Freddie Couples.
Yes, he had very beautiful swing, great tempo. Yes,
I got corrected twice.
It wasn't even the right answer the first time.
Look at your text message. Steve was trying to help you.
Oh, he was?
You know, the crazy thing is this year, I've got one of those R1 drivers that it's been around a while, and it's an older model. But it's adjustable. You can adjust everything on it, and it works out really well. But the cool thing, guys, is the ping clubs. Now, ping clubs, Karsten, whatever the gentleman's name that invented these clubs, he wasn't much on distance. He locked accuracy, straight hitting of the ball. And I bought these pings. These are old G2s back in the day. They got the plastic heel in the back. And that thing alone, the plastic heel, I was told by a golf club maker, he says you got to put super glue around that plastic back end of it because it stops the shock and vibration on your hand. And when that plastic thing is gone on the back side of that club, you might as well throw the club away. Anyway, I did that, but what I'm saying with these clubs, guys, I only spent like $170, and I regripped them in the whole 9 yards, get them all prepped up, ready to roll.
Yeah.
And I've never hit the ball straighter, and my miss hits are just a little bit to the right, maybe every once in a while to the left. So it's a stiff shaft. And I know seniors want to go with the flex shaft. I think you're better off staying with the stiff shaft. Club up a couple clubs, okay?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you're going to have a straighter shot, and you'll score better versus pounding the ball with a shaft that's got a flex to it because you're a senior. You know, I think this. You know what? What I'm trying to say is this. I've been really hitting it, man, exercising, dude. I'm getting a six-pack, and I'm feeling real strong. Dude, I'm telling you, 64, I'm a 34. I'm serious.
That's what you got to go.
I want to play, man. Hey, Jimmy, call me. Jim Harbaugh, call me. I'm ready to go, man. Let's go.
I'll get that passed over to Thom, but thank you very much, Wolverine.
Go blue.
Yes, sir.
Go blue. Michigan. That's right there.
Good stuff.
Michigan, go blue.
Oh, I guess I'm Wolverine Dan.
No, we're going to hop into a break, guys. Good stuff from Wolverine Dan. But when we come back, we're going to continue on a little bit of this golf talk, finish out the show, and all of that good stuff. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com.
NASCAR Cup Series line movement for the street course race in downtown Chicago, the Grant Park 220. Chase Elliott goes from 7-1 to 5-1. He is the favorite. Tyler Reddick and Martin Truex Jr. go from 7-1 to plus 650. Kyle Larson from 7-1 to plus 750. A.J. Allmendinger from 11-1 to 9-1. Three favorites now at the Detroit Golf Club's Rocket Mortgage Classic that tees off today. Tony Finau, Colin Morikawa, and Ricky Fowler all at 14-1. Hideki Matsuyama is 18-1. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle is known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do after paint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
Suffering from emotional pain and mental health conditions, Intensive Outpatient Programs, or IOP, is a rich addition to your continued individual therapy. Group members realize they're not alone and that others have similar difficulties. Hearing and sharing different ways to think and cope can be encouraging, empowering, and promote healing. In most cases, treatment is covered by insurance and no doctor referral is needed. Virtual IOP sessions available. Take your first step to wellness by calling 205-999-5247 or log on iopservicesllc.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that His mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
T-minus 3, 2, 1, Trash Panda Nation, ignite the fun, let's rock it.
Your Trash Pandas return to the Rocket City on Independence Day, Tuesday, July 4th for another 6-game homestand at Toyota Field. Promotions include a 4th of July celebration with fireworks on Tuesday, a Zach Netto bobblehead giveaway on Wednesday, and a Kids Trash Pandas socks giveaway on Sunday. Reserve your seats now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Let's rock it.
The new Cheeseburger Bobby's on Carl T. Jones Drive in South Huntsville is focused on serving great food prepared with the absolute freshest ingredients, featuring classic hamburgers and cheeseburgers with lots of specialty options, chicken and hot dogs, even turkey burgers and veggie burgers, along with fresh cut fries, onion rings, or coleslaw. Always fresh, never frozen, except for the frozen custard. See all the delicious options at Cheeseburger Bobby's for yourself. Check out the menu and more at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Extremely hot this afternoon across North Alabama, southern and middle Tennessee. Exercise caution when spending prolonged periods of time outside. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. Heat indices could be as high as 112 degrees. We drop into the low and mid 70s as we head into the overnight. We're going to do this again as we head into your Friday. A mostly to partly sunny sky. An isolated shower certainly can't be ruled out, but temperatures still climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Thom Abraham Show.
That's the energy.
Yeah, baby. I'm here with Captain Cool. I'm here with the Bandiman. I'm here with John. We're all just taking over the show. I mean, it's a takeover Thursday. I mean, Thom is out of town. You know what he's doing, enjoying the anniversary. Whether you're positive or negative about it on social media, I mean, we don't care because we're just taking over the show.
We're having a fun time doing it.
Yeah, we're having a fun time doing it, and he's enjoying himself, and he's taking so much leisure. I mean, everyone should take a little bit of leisure. I mean, everyone should be able to take a week off and just enjoy themselves and get away from everything.
After the Rocket City Awards, I think honestly we should just shut down the station.
Just take a nap. Like, I just need to take a nap for 5 seconds.
But we don't do that. We don't do that here at 97.7.
No. But some other things going on as well. The All-Star ballot voting for the All-Star game in Seattle has come to a conclusion. Phase 2, the results will be announced tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN. It's on Eastern time, so 6 o'clock around here on ESPN, which it's crazy to think that we care, but I mean, it is baseball, and we're going to figure out, I wish they would do it like all big and everything like that, like they do in basketball, where they like pick a team or whatever, and like give me 2 captains and pick a team. One captain, because literally Ohtani's the automatic and DH for the AL. You got Acuna, who's the automatic outfielder for the NL. Give me those 2 captains, and then give me a freaking team. You know what I mean? I wish it didn't have anything to do with what it had. I would like it more. I think in baseball if I had something like that. That's why I like the home run derby. I think I just if we could get guys that want to do it, go in there and do it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to do it. Just go in there and do it, and do it once at least, so we can watch some of the the most talented players do it. If you're into that, and if you haven't been voting, I mean, there was a possibility around here, Braves country, you could have 6 possible starters. I mean, Michael Harrison himself was getting his average better. He was like hitting at 260 and trying to get it higher than that, just to try, throughout. I mean, he's been hitting great throughout this stretch. So to try to make the All-Star game, you could have at least 6 Atlanta Braves. And I don't know how many Mets are going to be over there, but I'm sure he was voting for every single Met that was put on the All-Star ballot, and that is one to Philip, who's joined us right now. Philip, how you doing, brother?
Well, I'm all right. Nothing like hearing Wolverine Danica talking about how much she enjoys playing with a stiff shaft. But Mets suck. The owner sucks. The GM sucks. The manager sucks, and it's obvious. The owner is just like my Cowboys owner, who doesn't give a damn about winning anything as long as he's making a buck. Making a buck. Why is he still there? Who knows? Well, it's because the owner's digging it, and he's making a buck with him, so he'll stay there. How can I be a fan? How is it that I ended up being a fan of 2 teams who have the 2 worst owners in the history of sports? Oh, he's willing to spend money. It ain't about money, dude. It's about winning. That's what sports is. It's about winning. This isn't Little League. We don't give participation trophies out. It's about winning. When your manager sucks and Buck sucks, why is he still the manager? Why? It's stupid. This is stupid. Did you hear that idiot? y'all hear him? Did y'all hear his big interview? His 25 minutes worthless time and space speaking. He's an idiot.
I can't say that I was able to catch this, Philip.
Not all 25 minutes of it.
Not all 25.
I'm sorry, Philip.
I mean,
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. When you have one of the highest payrolls.
Baseball. How does Major League Baseball go? You're such an idiot. We're taking the team away from you because you're a freaking moron.
At least they're not the A's.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's a thing that happens. I mean, me being a Cleveland Browns fan, I've gone through my fair share of it, but it's different over in the NFL for sure compared to the MLB as well as the NBA when teams they get to the point in the season where it kind of seems like they just don't care,
Yeah.
Compared to like the NFL, you can't really. I mean, you can tank. There's only a few teams that tank, but then there's teams in the MLB who it's just like, oh, it doesn't really matter, Maybe we'll win some, we'll lose some. We're 17 games behind the leader, so what do we really do at this point?
Yeah, no. I'm with you, Captain Cool.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. Because
I
from the NBA side,
Yeah.
it's like, how are we going to constantly have a Defensive Player of the Year winner, multiple year winner, at least in contention pretty much every year, and an all-star shooting guard who can score on a whim, and we can't make it past the second round because he doesn't want to block a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I agree with what Philip said earlier. He has two owners. He roots for two teams that have two owners that absolutely want to do nothing with winning. They just want to get in the way.
Right.
And then when they're asked questions about firing their said head coach, they dance around a little bit and act like they're gonna, like they're gonna keep him for another 6 more years or something like that, or nothing's wrong. And when you see it right in front of you, and like I said earlier, you're paying for two players more money than a lot of your rivals and a lot of other people are paying their younger rosters and what they're being able to do with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly frustrating as a fan.
Yeah. Philip, what would you do to fix this team altogether? Oh, he's already gone?
Number one,
Okay.
fire Buck Showalter.
Yeah.
Buck Showalter sucks. He has done absolutely nothing. That will stir things up a little bit. I don't care. Oh, well, tell me who you're going to put in charge. Put the bench coach in charge. Put somebody. Pick a freaking random fan out of the stands to manage. Get rid of Vogelbach. Vogelbach sucks. He's been a total bust ever since he's been there. The dude sucks. He is paid to do one thing. Hit. And he can't do it. Get rid of him. Why is he still there? But yet Buck loves him. That Jack Wagon we got in right field, I can't even think of his freaking name right now. He's a lollygagging piece of crap. He should have been gone last year, but Buck loves him. And I'm just stupid.
You talking about Starling Marte?
Get somebody that gets some cojones and let people play. Put the kids in, let them play.
Yeah, put Tommy Pham in.
It's just horrible to watch.
Put him in right. Don't put him in left. Put Tommy Pham in right. Get rid of Starling Marte. Get another player.
Marte sucks.
Yeah, he's awful. I've never been a big Starling Marte fan.
I feel your pain.
But, dude, you got to do something.
Showalter has
They're just doing nothing.
Showalter has 1,687 wins. He has 1,621 losses. He has the 19th most in MLB history and the 4th among active managers. And if you go look at his playoff record, he's lost the AL division in 95. He lost the NL division round in 99. Lost the AL division round in 2012. Lost the ALCS in 2014. Lost the AL wildcard game in 2016. And then lost the NL wildcard game in 2022. So I agree with you. Why do you have a losing coach? A guy that has a lot of wins as a head coach, or as a head manager, obviously, but I agree with you.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is Major League Baseball, and I'm painting with a broad brush here. Major League Baseball makes so much money. He's actually still making money by losing. and that needs to stop.
You're right.
Yeah.
That needs to stop.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you calling in when Tom's out of town, but yeah, he'll be back next Wednesday. We'll all be back next Wednesday. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, but we'll all be back next Wednesday. Yeah, in a way.
In spirit.
All right, he hung up. He didn't say bye-bye.
Hey,
I thought he would say bye.
He's listening to the show.
Yeah, hey, he's listening. And I know another guy that's listening, and I know that he's absolutely still living off this high buzz, whatever you want to call it, but his LSU Tigers, go Tigers, LSU Lynch has joined us as well on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline if you want to call in 256-576-4977. LSU Lynch, hello, sir.
Look here, y'all listen to Paul Feinbaum, haven't you?
Always.
Every once in a while.
When do I not?
Yeah. Y'all remember Tammy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Philip, his tenor right there kind of reaches right there. Kind of reaches right there. I mean, come on.
He gets very defensive. I agree with you, but he'll get defensive, and he's very adamant about his Mets, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway. What I was going to ask you, I love the great golf conversation y'all were having, but look here, as far as the scrambles, now, do y'all play in a lot of scrambles because of your job and everything?
I do, yes, sir. I like to play in as many scrambles as I can for John and Bandy
do you
here.
Win?
Most of the time, if I have a good team, but if it's a 4-man scramble, it can be tough.
Yeah.
Look here, I'm 53, brother, and I grew up on the golf course, and my point, I used to love the scramble. Love the scrambles, had a great team. We won at the Ledges. We won at, Cherokee Ridge. We won all over.
Okay.
Dude. But it got so bad. The cheating got so bad.
Oh, the erasers. The erasers.
Well, I mean, you don't have anything to verify, But what I was going to say this and everything, the cheating got so bad and why I quit, y'all. And I'm going to hang up when I say this, okay? Y'all remember the White House out there in Dallas back in the day?
Not 100% on it.
You don't know the White House out there? Yeah, it's a Dallas Cowboy kind of thing. They did a bunch of cocaine and all, Michael, that was it. Yeah.
Okay, that kind of White House. Okay.
Look here, the cheating. My point is, the cheating got so bad here, it was worse than that.
Wow.
Oh Lordy.
Wow.
Yeah, and see, Dallas still ain't been to a NFC championship game in over 10,000 days. Take care, Philip.
Yeah, that house actually sold for $11 million back in 2018.
The White House, baby.
That's a nice house too.
Got a legacy to it.
And a guy that I know, we got another caller as well.
Wow.
Ray Dog, I know he's looking forward to Americana Night, July 2nd at the Joe, as HCFC has another homestand. Ray Dog, welcome to this program. What's going on, man?
Not much. I actually won't be in attendance. We're going out of town for the weekend.
Oh, you're going to miss out. I think I'm actually going to be late. I'm going to show up, and then I'm going to be late. Like, I'm going to show up in the second half.
So we'll be keeping up with it on social media and stuff, but we will not ourselves be in attendance for this one.
Well, what's going on?
But few things about, first of all, I don't necessarily call the Phillip, and that's what we call him. He's not Phillip, he's the Phillip.
True.
He carries that kind of gravitas. We're going to gloss him how we gloss him. D. Phillip, he's passionate. Sometimes he's defensive, but he's very passionate, and I respect it.
True that.
And you think he's angry about the Mets? Oh, my God. Wait till the Cowboys open 0-3.
Oh, no.
Oh, my Lord.
Shots are fired.
You think he's bad right now. Look out.
He's not wrong.
We need to do a well check on the Phillip. Like, is he still alive?
We always do.
Anyway, one of the great joys of my life, and I understand his angst as a Mets fan, because my sister-in-law is from Brooklyn and a Mets fan. And so one of the great joys of my life is to hit that button just hard enough to make that deep, thick Brooklyn accent come out.
Oh, jeez.
But I understand he's upset, and if I was a Mets fan and my top three guys made more payroll than the entire Tampa Bay Rays team payroll, which is a fact, I would be upset too.
Yeah.
But is that on the manager or is that on the front office?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Could be both. Could be both.
It is the
but
truth.
if the GM pays over the hill, and I'm not saying Verlander's over the hill by any means. I think the guy can still bring it.
Yeah.
But he's in his prime? No. Let's not have that conversation. His prime is over.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you on that. And seeing the millions and millions of dollars that are going his way this season, just to see a 2-4 record next to his name, it's not what you want to see, especially if you're a Mets fan.
Yeah, and with how long it's been going on too, I mean, it might be on both the front office and the manager.
Yeah. Well, last season the Mets were pretty good. Come on now, can't dog on them too much.
Until they choked on Sauce and ended up giving him.
He's been to the postseason an awfully consistent percentage compared to the rest of the managers in baseball, and you can't win a trophy if you don't get in the tournament.
True that.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that there.
Thank you, Radon.
Good stuff.
By the way, the Cowboys play the Giants. They play the Giants away to start the season.
Okay.
They play the Jets at home, and then they have to go away, and then they have to play the Cardinals away.
Okay.
So
I can see a 1-2.
Let's no.
1-2. No, they're 0-3.
What are you talking
Against
about?
I think they can take the Cardinals.
Look, all right.
They lose the Giants, they lose the Jets, and they lose a close one to the Cardinals.
They're not going to lose the Giants. I would say that yes, it's a possibility. They're playing
1-2 then.
They're playing in New Jersey. Okay. They're going to beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They are going to lose to the Jets.
Then they play the Patriots at home and the 49ers. That's their first 5 games.
Those next two games are going to be tough.
Yeah.
I will say
49ers will put the question mark on.
I will say for the Jets, though, getting into a rhythm right off the bat with Aaron Rodgers, as well as a whole ragtag of a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, Randall Cobb. You get the guys from the Packers.
Alan Lazard.
They're going to
He's
help
got his
out
guys.
a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, having this team just going straight into working together actually in a football game is something totally different. We see it with the Cleveland Browns. I bring it back around every single time because that's what I know. Deshaun Watson coming in. He's worked with these guys throughout a lot of the season. But whenever he finally comes in, we get to see one of the most boring, lackluster games ever. And he goes on to just have an average, very, kind of below average start to his Browns career. So at the same time, you may think Aaron Rodgers and this Jets team is going to be elite because of the name alone. But also, you got to think about these guys all melding together right off
They
the
expected
bat.
instant success like Tom Brady had. I mean, it wasn't instant, but it was still the right pieces were put there for Tom Brady. And if you look at Aaron Rodgers, all Aaron Rodgers has to do with this offense is just walk in.
Yeah.
He has an offensive line. He has weapons that he wants. And he has a really good defense that he can rely on when he's not on the field.
Very
so
much.
it's kind of in a sense the same way how, because when Tom Brady walked, people are like, don't understand. It's like when Tom Brady walked in that Tampa Bay defense, they were like top 10 the year before.
Yeah.
I mean, they were building off of that as well with the Devin White draft and everything like that. Yeah. So I mean, it was huge once they built off of that number. Like they were number 9 the season before.
Yeah.
So
and again, you could also say that the Jets will find success randomly, kind of like how they did last season at the beginning. They went on a pretty good streak right off the bat and kind of found themselves a little bit more to that 500 area. But for the most part, the Jets were able to find success with pretty bad quarterbacks. I'm looking at Mike White. I'm looking at Joe Flacco. I mean, Zach Wilson, he's the guy you could also even throw his name in there. Who even is he at this point in his career? But it's like the Jets are going to be fine. The Cowboys, I think, are also going to be fine. They're going to be riding a little bit more on Tony Pollard as running back, obviously. They don't have Zeke anymore. But they still got Dak Prescott, who is still in that need to prove himself year. I feel like every single year is a need to prove himself year because, I mean, the guy's getting paid big bucks for, seasons that start and look very good until they get to the playoffs. And I mean, it's a story that we keep reading every single year, similar to what we thought, Tennessee was looking like for the last few seasons in football. But I'm not going to talk about that a little bit, all right? Whew, Chad, how's the break?
51.
What did you just say? Oh, he just said the Alabama score from last year.
Yeah.
First time in 16 years.
Well, on the other side, we got to go to a break. We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back right here on the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. With beautiful Lake Gunnersville views throughout the round, Gunner's Landing is golf the way nature intended. Gunner's Landing's club repair shop offers a full range of services, including re-gripping and adjusting the lofts and lies of your clubs, even putters. Since the work is done in-house, your clubs will be returned to you in a timely manner. Unmatched in the North Alabama area, it is Gunner's Landing. Schedule your tee time today at gunnerslanding.com. That's gunnerslanding.com.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, Eagle can insulate your home and help you save money with fiberglass, spray foam, and cellulose insulation, and can help you decide what's best for your project. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seed, managing partner of University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Crimson Tide football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com for all our great offers. And get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide!
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Extremely hot this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Exercise caution when spending prolonged periods of time outside. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. Heat indices could be as high as 112 degrees. We drop into the low and mid 70s as we head into the overnight. We're going to do this again as we head into your Friday. Mostly to partly sunny sky. An isolated shower certainly can't be ruled out, but temperatures still climbing into the upper 90s and lower triple digits. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
With spring games done, next up is SEC Media Days. We got you covered.
This is when you need it, in this situation right here.
On your only full-time sports talk radio station, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. Welcome back as we wind down the Thom Abraham Show. I'm sitting here with the Bandiman, Captain Cole, and John as we take over the Thom Abraham Show.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple more minutes. If you want to call in, 256-576-4977. If not, hit us up on social media at 977ESPN. Or hit us up on any of the social media that we're on right now, or any of the videos that we're doing right now. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Of course, earlier in the show, we had Austin Hannon on from Bama Central. Did a great job breaking down the latest as the Alabama Crimson Tide finished the season in baseball 10th in the nation. That's actually as the also joins the football team and the basketball program as well, finishing 10th in the top 10. So that's a great feat, obviously, by any college program. And it's great to have the boys on as well. And we'll be on tomorrow for another great edition of the Thom Abraham Show. And we'll have another guy you've heard on this show before, Joe Hunk.
Oh, yeah.
From 104.5 in Nashville. So that would be really fun to have him on as well, talk about. I'm sure we'll talk gaming, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of pop culture, but there'll also be a lot of, I'm sure there'll be some Tennessee Titans. There'll be some anything. Atlanta Braves probably related to as well. So there'll be a lot of good talk tomorrow. We might have another guest as well, depending on if I can work it out.
Exactly. But we always have Joe Hunk on Fridays over on the Afternoon Blitz, which, again, guys, make sure you have the Afternoon Blitz or at least the Blitz Sports Radio Network on your devices. It is completely free, just like the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. Just 2 clicks and you'll have that on your phone, so you'll be able to listen to me, the Bandiman, as well as Drew DeArmond on the Recruiting Blitz from 9 to 10 during the weekdays. We got a lot of stuff going on over there, and I get it. The Blitz is also on the 97.7 app, but I have no idea when that's going to be off of there. So make sure you guys find your way onto the Tennessee Valley Blitz Sports Radio Network app as well. But before we hop out of here really quick, I do want to go a little bit more into a little bit of what's going on in the NFL. Obviously, the NFL is breaking down a little bit more on all these gambling violations, of course, and we also see just before the show another player getting lumped into the names that will be missing some time this upcoming season, and one of those players is coming from the Tennessee Titans, and that is Nicholas Petit-Free. What are these names? It's like people are just throwing a bunch of letters into their names, but either way, he is going to be missing 6 games for non-NFL bets that he made on the Titans facility grounds. So he will be getting a little bit less of a suspension, but the other players we talked about before from the Colts, like Isaiah Rodgers as well as Rashad Berry, those guys are going to be missing the entire season, as well as a few free agents who were also involved with a few of those illegal bets, because you can't do betting in the NFL. You can't do fantasy football in the NFL.
Can't even bet on other sports.
You can't even bet on other sports if you are on the facility or any of the hotels while the season is going on or during any of the NFL stuff.
That's trash.
It does stink, but it makes sense because they don't want any tampering going outside. It makes
rules
sense.
are rules.
It makes sense.
Yeah, rules are rules, and we don't play by them here at 97.7 ESPN as we take over the show and we do what we want.
Yeah, we are.
Appreciate you guys being on as always. Thank you everyone for listening, everyone calling in as well. Thank you for everyone watching on social media as well as that. So